Hey all, welcome back to SSX on Tour. I'm Aesthetic. With me on this video is Blackout the M&M,
Hey everyone.
Turo,
Howdy.
and Zindictive.
Yo, lads.
We're a rookie now, so we get these rookie events. We also, if you remember in the last video, we also finally got a better board. And seriously, I just want to, restate again that, seriously, now that we have a board with stats in it, we're not at zeros and everything, you're going to see that it's, going to be more fun. We can actually land tricks. We can actually do things.
Right.
And also with that, actually, this is a pretty cool event. This is a remix event. This is a remix race. It'll be 4 heats, but each heat will take place on a different track.
Oh.
And actually, we're going to get to see some tracks for the first time in this playthrough, in this event, and then more, that you'll see for the first time in this video. So it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, and so since this is my first time being on, actually, since Tricky, I didn't mean to miss all of 3, but life happened. How do you think this game compares to 3, overall? Just give me a quick recap.
Core gameplay is basically the same, but they've, revamped it to be way more intense. You get going at blazing speeds with more, blur and stuff, and when you have to trick really hard, and it actually gets pretty damn difficult near the end.
I actually like the camera a lot more. The camera in 3 I thought was very strange the way it would swing from side to side.
Yeah. Although this game does have its own issues with the camera, with what you'll see they've done to Uber tricks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Uber tricks have been changed up quite a bit.
And also
man, you haven't
the
even seen Blur yet.
freeze flame
You'll see
stuff.
Oh, I know that word. All right. But yeah, on the remixes, again, each heat different track, but it is just that track. So we're actually not having to race 3 tracks in one heat and then do that 3 times, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's really nice. It really, a fresher event than, again, the other types of races or show-offs where one of them is 2 heats, best of 2. Do a heat and try to qualify for the second one, and then the second one is what matters. Or your total time. But again, what the new tracks you're going to see are the ones more up at the top and the bottom of the mountain. So this is Roadkill. This is the first time you're seeing Roadkill. It's down near the bottom, and it's pretty cool. That was
a sweet-ass jump, yeah.
Yeah,
this game always looked cool, but whenever I would see it, it always struck me as just suffering from being the 4th game. I mean, unlike movies, which don't always go this long, games I have a weird thing where, people enjoy the gameplay so much as long as you can just keep adding tracks to it, it can keep going. But then people can accuse it of being stale, and it's how can you change and still give people what they want, which is more of the same?
Yeah. This game sort of has to deal with issues like that, of having to reinvent the perfect wheel so that people don't just
and
call
justify
it the
its
same
own
game.
existence. That's the main thing. Because the first game introduces the concept, the second game refines it and perfects it, the third game puts a fresh new spin on it, and the 4th game is how about if we do rock music?
Yeah, how about if we just generate you events that you play, 10 hours?
Yeah. I'd say the 4th game is it's going for its rebellious stage, like a teenager. Being more punk and angsty.
But it's I would hear people talk about how this game was just horrible, and it's I think it's the 4th game syndrome that it gets that criticism. I mean, it really isn't that different than 3.
Well, it's pretty different from 3 in a lot of ways that aren't just how the game feels to play. Such as this. This is the new Uber trick system.
Yeah, there we were. It's a cool Matrix. I mean, you got to think about it's 2005. The extreme sports scene is basically dead already. Tony Hawk,
SSX is so hot.
This game, and Amped 3 came out in 2005. But otherwise, that was basically it. And then, even with SSX, the next game is going to be a Wii exclusive because it's losing popularity and stuff. But I don't know.
Yeah, going Wii exclusive was it was franchise suicide.
it was killed by motion controls, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
So that was Roadkill, and this is Last Call. This is the bottom of the mountain. It's like you're riding into the city.
Also, this city looks way bigger than other cities.
Kinda.
Yeah.
I think it's because there's
some
a
huge
little bit less fog.
skyscrapers.
Yeah. But the
This game really, it gets, being a later PS2 game, it sort of gets to have the liberty of choosing when to use fog, and when it does, like, intentionally use fog, it looks really good.
Yeah, this looks
Which
great.
I think Bob pointed out last video, or Blank Tester pointed out last video.
Yeah, Bob Tester.
We call him Bob
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, so I have recorded the rest of the game. I know, already. So I can say that I do get all the boasts across my
really?
playthrough.
Awesome.
Not in
Yo.
any cohesive, coherent order. Again, basically just when I get opportunities. But I get so many opportunities that it's just like, I got them.
I was about to say, you know, like that incomplete LP of Disney's Extreme Skate Adventure, getting all the collectibles.
What a crime. You're going to jail for Disney Extreme Skate Adventure crimes.
I mean, it actually does kind of wind up like that if you want a true, like, 100%, because, like, there's no way, there's no, like, map of all the cache in this game, and I swear, like, I have 1 or 2 caches, you know, remaining in every single track that I just never found.
Yeah. Some super secret shortcut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Last Call. That is one of the more recognizable tracks from this game, along with Compilation, which I forgot last time, but you know.
Yeah, those are some really cool
Yeah.
jumps, honestly.
Last Call. Also, of course, if you played the GameCube version, that's the one that was turned into Nintendo Village. Yay! They had Mario.
And I'm guessing this
They had
is
a statue of
highest
Mario.
learning or higher learning?
Higher learning, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a weird deal that EA had, because I played NBA Street V3 on GameCube, and like
Mario
seeing
will
Peach
never be
like
ballin'.
dunk on Kobe Bryant was weird. I don't actually know if Kobe Bryant was in the game. I was just naming a basketball.
Yeah.
Sorry. Rest in peace, by the way. LeBron James was in the game. Probably could have gone with him.
Okay.
I will just mention, since, Blake, I know you wanted me to play the GameCube version, so that could be Luigi, but apparently it doesn't run on Dolphin
Yeah,
very well.
yeah, I knew there was one of that. It was, I couldn't remember if it was the PS2 or the GameCube one that didn't emulate, and it ended up being the GameCube one. So rest in peace.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not dead yet. Y'all could try and get it up and running more.
Dude, I saw a forum where it was a bunch of like 40-something guys, and they were talking about like how stupid it was to emulate and not just get things on original hardware, and I'm like, this is so the opposite of my logic that it's like I can't even understand your viewpoint.
Yeah. It's a
Oh man, I really
non-starter.
want to play games in shitty standard definition on aging hardware that won't work for much longer when I could be playing in widescreen HD.
Yeah.
How do you? I just fucking. It's just crazy.
Get
to me.
that crispy,
Just crazy.
like 4x resolution.
But
so.
you know, I wasn't angry because I appreciate that it's like that. Just shows you how diverse the human mind can be. That two people can have two completely different approaches to something that doesn't matter at all.
Shit, new
It's
record.
just having fun.
Yeah. I unlocked the rocker dude.
Hell yeah.
Rocker Dude is like the roadie guy. No, is he the roadie guy that is like in the intro cutscene? Or
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh man, they're advertising Trans World Snowboarding, my favorite game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
it's
a good
kind
game.
of funny there.
Yeah. Handplant Haven.
I like how these names are just like word salad shred, amateur, get tricky, add on the
Yeah.
rocks. Just like,
Yeah.
like if you just walked into the room, you were like, is one of those the name of the track? Like, what is it?
Oh, dude, I genuinely had that problem, like, back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, when
yeah.
I come back to play this for, a couple hours or so in between.
God, you know, I love this aesthetic, the sketchbook aesthetic. I know it's dated, but it looks so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm personally
Buttery.
not a fan of it, but I can see why people like it for
Yeah.
reasons other than nostalgia.
Well, I mean, it got overdone. When like Eddie Hardy blew up, and like all of a sudden everyone just had like that look. But
Ned's Declassified. I'll always associate it with Ned's Declassified.
Diary of a
A little
Wimpy
bit.
Kid.
Yeah, that too.
I will say I looked up some opinions from people of this game, And some people do like the whole slow motion trick thing that happens because of just how much freedom they have with doing insane tricks and such in the air while
really
slow. Cool. Yeah.
It does look really cool. It just, I wish you could see the ground.
Yeah.
You know what I mentioned about, you have more context clues than you think. But,
sometimes
again,
you don't.
Trying to trick my ass off in the harder events where, you need to be busting these long uber tricks like every single jump. And it's just like...
I don't understand that. I mean, it could be worse. Yeah. You could be having to, draw a dick on the screen to do your uber trick. The Wiimote.
It's kind of interesting that, like... Well, again, mid-2000s, the extreme sports scene was basically dead. But, like, SSX on tour really never had, like, a competitive scene. And really kind of still doesn't. Like, for all the attention that, like, 1, Tricky, and 3 got... Like, on tour, it's pretty dead and empty.
Yeah. And Blur, of course, is the most active. I'm sorry, I can't... Blur should be the biggest meme in the world. But, extreme sports is such a niche.
I mean, I've been bringing up Kellicat for, like, this whole series, because he's a fantastic speedrunner, and I think at this point he holds, like, all the race world records for Tricky or something, I don't know. But, like, he has, like, 2 videos on his channel of this game.
Yeah. And on both of them in the description it's like, alright, this is interesting, I might do more. And then he didn't do more.
Yeah, but does he have video of the missing SSX game, SSX Snow Dreams?
What?
No.
Oh.
Never heard of it.
I mentioned it off camera. SSX Snow Dreams is a lost game. It was an online game published by EA.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember you bringing that up now.
Yeah, and there's, like, no video of it anywhere, which I think is really sad. It's called SSX Snow Dreams. It's on the Lost Media Wiki. Hopefully, people are hunting for it, they'll find it.
Yeah.
Sometimes that stuff turns up and you never think it would. Like, they found... Like, Lost Media Hunters have found, like lost websites from, like, 20 years ago. It's crazy.
Yeah, like, this is the era of digging up, like, alphas and early releases of games.
Yeah, and there's, some games that have been pretty fucking lost for multiple reasons, like the whole online thing, and also being on platforms that almost nobody gives a shit about.
Yeah, like, and there's one game I'm really hoping comes back. Yeah. It was a snowboarding MMO called Project Powder, and it was Korean, and it was, I forget when it was officially on, I think it was early 2010s, but it's been revived at various points over the years by, I think, a German fan base, Russian fan base, and sadly... When we first heard about it, like, it had just gone offline. So hopefully that comes back online again. You'll have to you have to record that like instantly in case it disappears.
Yeah. Since we are in a show-off event, I do want to mention a few things. Well,
absolutely.
One, just for the one person who didn't see my SSX3 stuff at all, is coming straight into On Tour. The way the combo system works is you get bonus points, basically, if you land multiple tricks in a row. And, like, on your first tricks, you'll get half of your tricks points as bonuses. By the time you get a 30 trick combo and above, you get double your tricks points as bonuses if you land it. But, of course, again, you're, like, made of fucking paper mache in this game, and you'll crash all over the place. But something else is that if you are doing a trick in the air and you land on a rail, you will get double points. You basically like a 2 times multiplier for that air trick, and that could be air trick or like holding a rail uber from before and landing on another rail. And there's a lot of like long rail segments in this game, like rails chaining into rails, so that actually really helps.
It's a hot
it's
mechanic.
Kind of a secret thing. I don't think the game tells you, or like even has it in any loading screen or something.
Yeah, like I mean, I've beaten this game before, like a few years ago now, and I'm playing through it again for this LP, and I just noticed that today. Like, I was doing, like, one of those long grind chains on compilation.
I will admit the camera here is just awful.
yeah, that happens sometimes. But yeah, I was doing some, like, long grind chain on compilation, was noticing that I was getting a lot more points than I thought I would, just holding one rail uber across several rails.
Yeah, because it's like, you might have noticed, there's no, like, slope-style specific tracks, but there's also no multipliers or points adders or such, so, like, a combination of totally being on your own, kind of like the, All Peak Race and Jams from the end of SSX3, but also that they'll be asking you to get millions of points again as the game goes along, and it's like you really do take what help you can get, and getting those kind of double points adders is really good. I don't know how much I use it here. I don't think I really picked up on it until like either the end of my footage or even after.
See, here's the thing, it's like, even if, like I said, I just want to address the real haters, even for the people, for the people who say this game is terrible. It's like, did you not see how sweet that first trick was? I think this game has absolutely still got it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, when you came out the starting gate and just...
I'd say it's still got some style to it. It's still got some flavor to it. It's just
more SSX.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as good as 3. I don't think many people think it's as good as 3, but it's more SSX, and like I don't know, it's fun. It's fun.
But I always I came to understand the appeal of 3 more, but I still don't think I like it as much as Tricky, if I'm going to be honest.
Well,
Roof on the roof.
That's a debate for a lifetime. Tricky over 3.
Yeah, because I mean, I recognize that it's more technical, but in some ways, in being more technical, it's also, and more competitive, it's also more limiting because it forces you to take optimized routes. Or else, because like, having an optimal score is part of the fun, whereas Tricky with the wide open tracks, and just less blur, less effects, is more casual, I guess. And I just find that more appealing now as somebody who is only playing video games for fun. But I understand that people who are speedrunners or whatever would enjoy 3 more, because it's more of a challenge.
And take what you just said and amplify it, and that's how I feel about On Tour. I mean, all that extra stuff, like, monster tricks, or again, like, I don't want to say, like, oh my god, I rely on monster tricks to make SSX 3 fun, because that's totally not the case. But just all the other stuff that, helps you out and can really do well on big like, that's all been taken away. So, like, you need to be performing optimally, again, by the end of this game, and there's no way to go really beyond that more.
I mean, and that's also another problem with sequels. As the fan base becomes more and more narrow, appealing to, like, the most hardcore in the fan base can sometimes become a problem. Like, remember, Guitar Hero was super popular when it came out, and by the time you got to Legends of Rock, it was just too fucking hard.
Yeah, or like Tony Hawk 4 is way harder than 1, 2, 3.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that can also affect people's opinion, because, like, I beat 3. I'm not like a scrub or anything. I never played on tour, but I imagine I could probably beat it too. I hope to beat all the other ones. But I wonder if it's not people who just enjoyed goofing off in Tricky and weren't really good enough for 3 have even more of a problem enjoying on tour. Because if it's a harder game, then it's even less rewarding for the casual player than 3 would have been for people who could barely get by in Tricky.
Yeah, maybe. When you have so little buffer, you enjoy it less and less because you have to really focus and play your best, no matter what.
Yeah, because
I feel like that's coming in several hours, so whatever.
Yeah, and like the genre, that I tend to play the most of are shmups. I mean, also adventure games, and adventure games are sort of their own kettle of fish. And in shmups, once you get better and better, you start craving harder and harder games, and those games can only appeal to you at that point. Like, if you tried to play them as your first game, you would die every 10 seconds, and you'd never have any fun. And so it's like, it's a similar thing. Like, I've seen, and I guess actually in adventure games, I've played harder adventure games with really complex puzzles and hidden clues, and it, especially the public perception of that genre as being casual, people are not always up to the challenge, and I'll see really harsh criticisms of really good games because the people just didn't know what they were getting into. Just interesting game theory talk. I love game theory.
Yeah. The game's requirements itself don't need to be, mountainous. If you do everything the game asks and then you're still, like, good enough to go above and beyond, that's when you develop a competitive scene.
Yeah.
That's when you perform against other people who can also do beyond.
Exactly, and I think it is somewhere about finding a sweet spot. I mean, we do need the super difficult games.
Oh, he moonwalking.
Because the hardcore people need something to play too, but, like, finding a game that has that broad appeal is just, so hard. I mean, I've seen so many games, good games, get negative criticism from people who just didn't know how much of a challenge it was and approached it too casually. And I've been guilty of that myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, this is just a little time waster game, and then I suck at it, and it's like, oh, I actually have to really buckle down and get good if I'm going to enjoy this.
Two quick things. So one, those box set events, yeah, they take longer, because it's like 3 heats of, doing a bunch, but they'll give you double the reward. Like, double the cash, double the hype for beating those versus just like a 2-heat event. And also the boasts. I figured out kind of about the boasts because I was looking back at like how much like extra hype do those give you, and the more of those boasts, those secret spots, those cameras you find, the more hype each one will give you. Basically, the first one you find gives you 50 hype, and then each one gives you 50 more. So like by the time you're finding the last ones, you're getting like 1,800 hype from finding it alone.
That's pretty
so
high.
That actually is a pretty good deal incentive for you to go after, a bunch of them.
Oh, yeah, you killed that guy. Rest in peace.
I can definitely, say that those helped, speed up this playthrough and make sure I could do it, efficiently.
Yeah, I just want to quickly bring up my massive confusion at this skull right now of not touching the snow, even though you were grinding on essentially snow for a few moments. It's just...
It's more of a game distinction than a literal distinction.
Touch Earth.
Yeah.
Also,
this one just
grind
felt
rail
really
is a grind rail,
janky
even if it's
too.
made out of snow.
That goal felt very janky with just how you're supposed to get through it. It didn't seem fun
consider
at all.
this. If I put floor tile on a wall and touch it, am I on the floor?
Whoa.
Damn.
You put snow on a rail, are you on the snow? Or are you on the rail?
That's deep, bro.
Floors are just sideways walls.
Holy shit. That's fucked up.
See, this is why Connor and I are the perfect comedy team, because I'll come up with something dumb and he'll come up with a great punchline.
Yeah, no, I keep wondering and expecting when we're gonna just turn into podcast mode on this game. Because I mean, come on, you're gonna see the same tracks 50 fucking times. So
why are we seeing the same track over and over?
But I think here's another track. I don't think Between the Sheets was in a previous video.
Yeah.
Dude, see, look at that. Look at that. That's exactly what I like to see. Just, right off the gate, big jump, and then boom, a bunch of, flips.
Yeah, every competitor is in their own little gate with like a grind log coming out of it.
That's
It's really
cool.
Yeah.
I like the look of this game. I think it is, like you said, just part of it being a later PS2 title, but everything just looks so much clearer because there's less fog.
Yeah.
Like, look at this. This is like a fucking
and it's,
Grimm's fairy tale forest. All these
it's
cartoony
like
trees.
really complex, and you'll see, when you get going really fast or such, it's like everything looks monstrous around you, like hundreds of feet tall.
I will say, so far, this is like a better forest than the forest that we had to deal with in SSX 3.
Better forest than forest in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you ever want to have a good time, go to your local library and get a copy of Grimm's fairy tales, like some of the original fairy tales, uncensored, just translated from the original. They're so gruesome.
I know, but you expect people in 2021 to actually want to read?
I don't know. I feel like reading.
I'm Turo. I'm 19, and I never learned how to fucking read.
Whoa. We need some reading rainbow up in here.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, reading has become one of these things with self-publishing being a thing. I think more people are, maybe less people are reading overall, but the people who are reading are more engaged because it's easier for them to be part of the reading experience themselves by writing.
Mm-hmm.
In some ways, that's made it worse because now, without publishers, publishers' record labels get a bad rep, but as somebody who has read awful self-published books and listened to awful self-published albums, there's a reason they exist. It is to find good stuff and get it to you. And for all their mistakes, they do some pretty good things too. Namely, helping you, sorting the wheat from the chaff for you, so you don't have to listen to a million bad albums or read a million bad books to find the good one.
Yeah. I'm a step in again and say, all right, welcome to the track Mind the Gap. This is an interesting track. It's been designed, you see, with all these crisscrossing rails and such, it's actually been designed so that you can take a grind line from the top to the bottom.
This is the real pipe dream.
If everything works out in your favor, because, like, at least once per time you'll land on a rail and just fucking crash. But it's a cool idea.
You gotta
I remember when I saw you do
land
that
right.
in real life, Connor, just stand on one arm for an hour while grinding.
Yeah. Oh, the helicopter swoops in to help you out.
Shit.
Oh,
Okay, that's awesome.
yeah!
Also,
Yeah.
watch the score in the bottom right as he's getting double points for landing on rails.
No.
Yeah, so it's just really cool because you'll like branch off and go like, and you'll be like, there's no way that they designed this so that it works out, and it does as well. Like it always works out.
Yeah.
And then we got Blade Raid. This video is now sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Yay! Blade
Control
Shadow
your
Legends.
fucking monsters or whatever. I never pay attention when other people shill it. So
500 gold pieces.
This video is now sponsored by Blade 4. You know, Wesley Snipes is coming out of retirement.
what do you think is the weird? You know, there's like pockets, niche pockets of stuff on YouTube. Like, I don't know, imagine like science anatomy, you know, labs or something. Like, what do you think is the weirdest sponsor that you've just never heard of because you don't watch that niche of YouTube? And I thought of this when I saw like a computer review and the guy was sponsored by Micro Center, and I'm like, Micro Center sponsors YouTubers?
Yeah, what?
You know, so like,
What?
so
That's
like,
strange.
yeah, I don't know. Like, imagine like, hi, this video is sponsored by, I don't know, some service that'll send your lab like dead frozen rats.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, every week or every month, get a new dead animal in the mail
Yeah.
to experiment on.
Like, I don't know.
Oh man.
Have you found any niches of YouTube with weird sponsors? Let me know. I don't know.
I don't know. Now I'm really trying to think. That's an interesting question.
I was watching
Yeah,
a
that was
video of like someone who was sponsored by a game that very clearly was made to try and capitalize off of Raid Shadow Legends' popularity from getting shilled by YouTubers. Like, it looked just like it, and it was like very clearly just something that they threw at YouTubers to advertise.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Those types of games have existed long before Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah.
People have been making those games are made in China using the same exact assets, just flipped over and over and over again.
Yeah.
All right.
It's crazy. I remember reading about it.
Unlike Knockout City, which is the hypest new multiplayer game of the summer. That was the dodgeball game. That was the dodgeball game where I said in SSX 3, everyone who gets paid by EA or whatever to play it for one 20-minute video, it never feels like they could continue playing it for another 20 minutes. Like, it feels like they've seen all there is to see, you know?
And here's the thing, you know, heavy marketing is fine as long as the product is good. I remember like Rocket League was getting like promoted by everybody. Nobody cared because everybody loved it.
Yeah, I mean, my introduction to Rocket League was, I got it during its launch month when it was free with PS Plus, and I thought it was pretty fun. I thought it was a great game. I never really got good at it, but, you know, that Rocket League game that you hear your kids talking about, pretty fun. I recommend it. I hear it's free now.
Yeah, like that's the main thing. Like, people always talk about overexposure in media, and I'm like, look, overexposure will only harm the product if it's not good enough to be exposed that much. But if it's really good, then nobody cares.
Yeah. And only OGs remember when there was no Rocket League. There was only Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket-Powered Battle Cars.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, and from my end, that was synced up perfectly, but for you, that was probably delayed and ruined it.
Yeah.
I'll make it even more delayed in editing.
No!
Yeah. Here,
Put some
send it to
freaking
me,
echo effect on it.
Send it to me. I'll drop it in FL Studio and throw a delay pedal on it.
Yeah. Add like
Add
a
some
full ton of
reverb.
and shit.
Yeah.
Add a flanger. I'm sure that'll sound good.
Oh yes.
Oh
Put
my
a
god.
wah pedal on it or something.
Oh, what was that?
Bob?
What was that weird guitar in Russia that was like had a pedal built into it? What was that?
Oh god, yeah.
I don't
And
know.
we never bought it because it was like $1,700.
Yeah, it was a first act custom shop, which is now closed, by the way. Left-handed guitar for our left-handed aesthetic, and it had a.
I might still have it bookmarked. If it's still there, I'll just put it in the description. Because, yeah, like, you think first act. All right, shitty guitars people buy at Walmart. But, like, this was a genuine, like, shop-made, one-of-a-kind, like, only one.
Yeah,
like,
they had a
crazy
custom
guitar
shop.
with, like, some effect built into it.
Yeah, so their custom shop was run by a guy who used to work for the Gibson custom shop, and they made instruments for professional musicians. So it's like they existed only at both ends of the spectrum. It's like shitty plastic guitars at Walmart, high-end one-offs made from an ex-Gibson custom shop guy.
Damn.
And so
That's
this is
actually
like
really
a
funny.
super. Yeah, it's a super nice guitar. It's like an SG style riff, but it's been torqued into like a parallelogram, so it has a deeper recess, which is nice, and it has a built-in dub pedal. That's what I think is what it was.
All right.
And it's like the coolest fucking guitar, and it's it was made for some guy in I don't know if it was made for a guy in Russia, but it was a
Yeah.
USA custom shop. But it ended up in Russia, and it's now being sold online for like $1,700.
Yeah, it's just a bit too expensive for me to pull the trigger.
My favorite thing
Yeah.
about guitars is sometimes when I put my fingers in the right spots, I can play a really cool C chord, and it sounds really good.
No.
Yeah.
You know what you should do? You should just message them and say, "You guys have been trying to sell this fucking thing for 3 years. Give it to me for like just $1,000."
Yeah, I was supposed to do that, like, if it was still there after Christmas, and I just didn't.
I guarantee you, it's still there. It's so funny to me that it exists in this world, but it does.
I feel weird about making offers like that. Like, there's this album that I want that's, like, really rare. Like, relatively
Jeez.
rare. It's,
I
that
know,
was
it's a
weird.
fucking jump scare. I hate when the guy opens his mouth.
What are you trying to make out with us?
That's unnecessary, game.
Yeah, I think it was saying "Hi, Mom," but it's like,
Hi,
just
Mom.
don't.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it's one of the rarer animations.
Yeah, there's this game that I love this song. I love LCD Sound System. There's this one album on, like, some website that's, like, $80, but it's, like, make an offer if you want. But I don't want to, because, one, that means I'd have to, like, talk to someone, and two, I don't want to undercut someone on what they think their product is worth. You know, I feel weird about it.
Making deals is fun though. Like, it's fun to receive an offer and counter offer. I mean, it's just part of the joy of selling.
Yeah.
I should offer him $5 for it and see what he says.
I mean, that is just insulting.
Yeah. It's insulting.
Oh man, Diplo. I freaking love Diplo.
Yeah.
Yeah, Diplo has 2 songs in this game.
And Diplo's a great producer, and you know, I don't know if I call him necessarily overexposed, but you know, he's a big name, but he's also really good.
Yeah, I enjoy the songs here.
I learned from Animal Crossing that Diplo is the name of a dinosaur, or it's the name of... Yeah, I think it's the name of a dinosaur. Thanks.
Yeah,
Animal Crossing.
Diplodocus.
Can I just bring this up right now? When it comes to any sort of video game that has this sort of goal, like a racing game, whatever, I do not like the whole near-miss challenge thing. It's always just dumb to me, just having to get near to anything and not hit them while focusing on what you're doing and such. It's just... And
Well,
then
don't
having...
ever play a shmup because you won't like grazing mechanics.
I will say that the register hitbox of like getting a near miss is actually pretty lenient.
Yeah.
Like, in no way do I have to brush up straight up to someone's grill, but I do agree that all of the challenges that are like knock down these ski kids or get near misses or escape the ski patrol, I don't like them nearly as much as, you know, do tricks, race.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
like, I'll
shit.
show them off every once in a while, but I kind of ignore them. But yeah, we have moved further up the list. We're a semi-pro, and no semi-pro events generated for us. But yeah, we're done with our rookie year, and yeah, we're a semi-pro now. And I think actually, oh my god, I have the cash to buy a full monster trick.
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
Yeah,
Well, we
So
getting,
I-
boys.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Yeah, they're expensive. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know if I was clear enough about the previous thing, so I just want to re-clarify. You have to buy better boards to get anything other than a fucking 0 out of 10. You have to buy your full monster tricks. You will want to buy those attributes because, again, you feel gimped without them. And they're all so expensive, and you don't really get money that fast. Like, this is way worse than really just only having to buy stat points in SSX 3. Because, again, in 3, you had a full set of, Uber tricks already. Like, it's just so many things that you need to buy to get a better experience of playing the game. And again, they roll cash out pretty slow to you at the start.
Yeah.
But whatever. We're moving on. We're going to be doing semi-pro stuff next time, so see you then.